Hello, my name is Alex Hulkran, and I'm the marketing manager for the world's first luxury pickup truck, the Mark LT. We are coming to you from Dallas, Texas today because yesterday at the Texas State Fair, we had the world reveal of the production Mark LT. We made history yesterday. History for the automotive industry, history for Lincoln Mercury, and history for the truck segment. Because what we have here is something that no one has ever seen before, a true luxury truck. And not just any truck. We've taken the best-selling truck for the last 27 years in a row, wrapped it in the elegance, sophistication, and luxury you would expect from a Lincoln, and created the Mark LT, where true functionality meets true luxury. For a lot of Lincoln Mercury dealers, this is the first time you will have been selling a truck. The pickup truck segment, light-duty truck, which is under 8,500 pounds, is today the largest single segment in the automotive industry. It has surpassed small car this year in 2004 to be the largest segment. It is also projected to continue to grow until 2009, so it will continue to be the largest segment, and it's definitely one Lincoln Mercury wants to play in. Another key element to this truck segment is pricing. If you look at the transaction prices in the light truck segment in 1999, only 1% of the trucks were transacting at over $35,000. Today, we see over 20% transacting at over $35,000. And if you look at the amount transacting over $30,000, it's actually 50%, or a full half of the segment is transacting in this upper price range. So given the body style, given the growth of the segment, and where the prices are transacting, this is exactly the right time to do exactly what Navigator did when it introduced a new segment. We're going to do the same thing with the Mark LT and create a new segment, the first luxury truck.
My name's Patrick Schiavone. I'm the design director for trucks and SUVs for Ford Motor Company. That includes Lincoln and Mercury as well as Ford. We had a great idea one day. Everybody kept coming up and telling me with our new F-150 what a fabulous truck it was and how luxurious the interior was and how great the fit and finish was. In fact, the next day somebody came up to me and they said, you know, the interior on that vehicle could be a Lincoln, it's so good. And the exterior is so proud and so rich looking, it was the perfect form to turn it into a Lincoln. As you can see, the front grille is very reminiscent of the current Lincoln Navigator. And I think if you set those two vehicles side by side, you'd say, there is no doubt this is a Lincoln product. And that's what we were trying to accomplish, and that's what this truck was able to let us do.
Next, let's talk about some of the key exterior design features and both the standard and optional equipment you see on the Mark LT. Now, the first thing you notice about this truck that makes it so distinctive is the chrome, or as we talk about internally, chrome per square inch, or CSI. There's more CSI on this vehicle than anything else on the road. But let's start with the design of the front. You've got a very dominant chrome grille with a strong star in the middle, certainly something you will notice in your rearview mirror if you come up behind somebody. The fog lamps you see here are standard equipment on this vehicle, as you would expect on a luxury truck. You'll see the chrome theme continuing as we move down the vehicle. We have a Mark LT badge on the side here with a strong Lincoln star again to let everyone know from all four directions you're definitely in a Lincoln, a luxury vehicle. The chrome skull caps you see here are also standard on this vehicle. And just so you know, these mirrors are heated and powered, and they do have a repeater signal in them, again, making it very clear for the drivers when people are making a turn in this vehicle. The chrome continues, and the cladding, as you see along the bottom here, when combined with the bumper front and rear in chrome, creates an entire ring of chrome around the bottom of the vehicle. It's a very nice key design element. The running boards you see here are optional. They are black. There's also a chrome step bar that will be available as an FCSD accessory. The door strap here, the chrome door strap handle is another element of chrome. And underneath the chrome door handle, you also have the standard keyless enter keypad, as you would expect on every Lincoln. That's a key feature and one of the things that people really like about our products. The fact that you can leave the keys in the car if you go to the gym, anywhere else. You don't have to worry about it. It's very easy to access the car. Again, that's standard on this vehicle. The bed rails you see here are also optional, but they are chrome. Not everyone likes to have bed rails on their truck, particularly if they want to put a tonneau cover on it or some other sort of cover. The chrome rails really can't work with that, so the chrome rails are an option. The wheel you see here is our chrome wheel. It's an 18-inch chrome wheel. Our standard wheel is actually an 18-inch aluminum wheel, but the chrome wheel is an option, and we think it's going to have a fairly high take rate because, again, it really complements the entire look of the vehicle. Now, what would power a luxury truck? A 5.4-liter engine that produces 300 horsepower and 365 foot-pounds of torque. What that means in terms of ability is an 8,900-pound towing capability and a 1620 payload. That's enough for most people to haul a boat, a small horse trailer, or the way I like to look at it, a Cadillac Escalade with 4 people in it and 4 bags and a jet ski in the back. Mark LT can tow that out of the way without even thinking about it. That's the power that's produced from this truck, and that's the benefit to the customers, and something you want to explain. Probably you'll have your own ideas of what 8,900 pounds is, but I would strongly recommend for your customer base, you figure out what 1620 is in a way that's relevant to them in terms of the payload, and 8,900 pounds in terms of the towing ability. Now let's take a few moments to talk about some of the engineering advances that really make this truck one of the quietest and best handling trucks on the market. With a truck, everything starts with the frame. Mark LT has a fully boxed frame. Now, most frames in the industry are a C-shape. What the Mark LT has is the entire frame is fully boxed, which gives you a lot more strength and stability in the entire vehicle. Another technological advance is the suspension, both front and rear. In the rear suspension, we have outboard mounted shocks. Now, along with the F-150, the Mark LT is the only truck in the industry to have this. What it means is the shock absorbers are sitting outside of the frame, which gives you a lot less lean, a lot less body roll, and tighter and more precise handling. The front suspension is also very technologically advanced. It features a coil-over shock design, and again, the shocks have been mounted fairly outboard from where a normal truck would have them. This provides more tight handling and more precise turning, and an overall better ride for the customer. Now, there's a lot of other technological advances in this vehicle that are too numerous to mention, but I would urge you to check your product portfolio online and the presentation walk-around guide for some of the key technical advances and things to talk about with the customers, which also will explain the true benefits to the customers of all of this engineering. Moving to the rear of the vehicle, you can see how the Lincoln DNA design continues. And it's really demonstrated first in the tail lamps. As you see on Aviator and Navigator, the tail lamp wraps into the tailgate itself, which creates a bold image. You also see a strong Lincoln star in the tailgate, again, making it very clear to anyone who sees you driving this that you are in a luxury vehicle. Now let's take a second and talk about this tailgate. This tailgate is actually one of the strongest in the industry, made out of stamped steel. It can hold plenty of weight, including myself. But as it turns out, this is actually one of the easiest tailgates to open and close, because there's a torsion bar that works in combination with the hinges to make it a breeze to open and close for any customer. One of the other things I'd like to show you is the bed extender. Now, this allows you to take your already very functional 5.5-foot box and expand it out to have this much more work area to haul things, particularly longer items. It's something customers have told us time and again they really appreciate having that flexibility, and something we're proud to offer as an accessory on the Mark LT. A couple other key things I'd just like to hit. We do have the trailer tow package, Class 4 trailer tow, that does give you the 8,900 pounds we discussed earlier in terms of maximum towing. And for a true 4x4 off-roader, we do offer skid plates on the 4x4. One other key thing in the rear seat. In order to maximize flexibility, the rear seat is able to fold up. This allows customers to haul a number of things that they want to haul in the cabin as opposed to the bed, something they'd probably want to lock up like golf clubs or even groceries, and they don't want to mar the surface of the seat. It's just one more standard feature on the Lincoln that makes it a very functional and capable truck.
Now, let's talk a little bit about the interior. You know, I mentioned that we started with a great interior, and then what we had to do was really give it a sense of Lincoln-ness. Now, a couple things that we really felt were important was real wood. And we didn't want just any wood, we wanted an ebony wood. It's a much more satin finish in this ebony than we usually use. And the high gloss finish is something that we think is kind of going out of fashion. So I think this is a real selling point of the vehicle, is the satin finish. It's more like the furniture that you would have in your home as opposed to a very high gloss, which we believe is going a little bit out of style. Another thing that we felt was important was to make the seats as luxurious as possible. And so we did that by simply looking at what luxury seats are through the history of time. And most of the great marques since the invention of the automobiles has used a welting or dark piping on the edges of the seats.
Most customers tell us the first thing they notice when they open the door is the seats with this very strong contrasting piping. It gives it an elegant, sophisticated look, and the premium leather feels great against the skin. Also, you need to know about these seats. They are 6-way power driver and passenger seats, and standard heated seats are available on this vehicle as well. But the leather doesn't stop at the seats. You will see all the key touch points where people are really going to interact with the vehicle have been draped in leather. Starting with the leather wrap shifter here, the top of the console, and this is quite a cavernous console to haul a lot of different things and store things, and the two-tone leather wrap steering wheel. On the steering wheel, you have redundant audio controls for the radio as well as redundant climate controls. The rearview mirror is auto dimming, which is another great luxury feature. The headlamps are automatic. There is a home link system that's standard on this vehicle as well. The HVAC system is automatic electronic temperature control, so you can set it for 70 degrees or whatever your comfortable temperature is and leave it be, and it'll maintain that temperature continuously. You have an audiophile 6-disc in-dash CD changer. It's a wonderful stereo system. It gives you great power and performance, which again a luxury customer would expect in their stereo system. The gauges are outlined in chrome. There's a lot of other key elements and details of this feature that the customer will notice. But again, this is truly a luxury vehicle, and you can tell from all the work of the detail, the leather, the wood, all the elements together combine harmoniously. In addition to all these standard features, there's also some available options that truly make this truck customizable. For example, there's an optional moonroof. There is an available power sliding rear window, and there's an optional DVD player to keep the people in the back seat entertained. All of this together does combine to make a truly luxurious truck. Now, who's the competition for this vehicle? Who are your customers going to be cross-shopping? Well, we've really identified two, the Cadillac Escalade EXT and the GMC Sierra Denali. However, both of these competitors are lacking something when they compare it to the Mark LT. The Cadillac is a nice vehicle, it's very luxurious, but it's not a true truck in terms of its functionality. As a quick example, the Cadillac can tow 7,100 pounds, whereas the Mark LT tows 8,900 pounds. The GMC Sierra Denali is a fairly capable truck, but it doesn't have the luxury elements you would expect. It doesn't have the real wood, it doesn't have the available adjustable pedals like this truck does. It's just truly not a luxury experience the way you would get in the Mark LT. Again, the Mark LT is where you get the right combination of that capability and functionality combined with the luxury. We feel that's the winning proposition that will make this thing the best-selling truck on the market. Thanks.
In our research, we have heard loud and clear that there's never really been a true luxury pickup choice before from anybody in the luxury brand market. And we believe that the Mark LT will change that.
Anything you can do with the pickup truck, you can do with this vehicle.
We're going to sell it to new customers, and we're going to bring new customers into the Lincoln fold.
And when you look at it, you will also see that it is very clearly a luxury vehicle. That makes our position totally unique.
There is nothing like it on the road today. We're first, and that's the best place to be.